Dear students, in the previous class, we have learnt about oogenesis. In this section, we are going to see about menstrual cycle, menstrual disorders and menstrual hygiene, human reproduction, part 6. What is menstrual cycle? It is the important characteristic feature of primates. That means it occurs only in human females and apes. It is a regular natural change occurs in the female reproductive system once in every 28 days throughout the reproductive life of a female. This starts at menarche, that is first menstrual cycle, and continues till menopause. Menopause means termination of menstrual cycle. But this menstrual cycle will not occur at the time of pregnancy. Why this cycle is essential means it is required for the female to produce the oocytes for fertilization and to prepare the uterus for implantation of the fertilized egg and for the continuation of the pregnancy. You may ask whether the cycle occurs in other mammals. Yes, it takes place, but only in primates this cycle is called as menstrual cycle, and in other mammals it is called as estrous cycle or heat. You already know that changes occur in the ovaries and uterus for about 28 days is called menstrual cycle. But the changes are not same in the ovaries and uterus throughout these 28 days. So they split these 28 days into 4 phases. They are menstrual phase, follicular phase, ovulatory phase and luteal phase. In these phases, you can see changes occur in the hormonal levels, changes in the follicles of the ovaries, changes in the endometrium of the uterus. Now, we are going to see the various changes occur in each phase of the menstrual cycle in detail. In this cycle, brain, ovaries and uterus work together and communicate through hormones to keep the cycle continuous. So before entering into the phases of menstrual cycle in detail, let us see the role of various hormones related to this cycle. The changes occur in the ovaries and uterus are controlled by the hormones of the brain and the pituitary gland. When the female reaches the age of puberty, the hypothalamus of the brain secretes GnRH, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone. This hormone in turn stimulates the anterior pituitary gland to release FSH and LH. These two hormones acts on different phases of the menstrual cycle. That means the FSH plays an important role during the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle and the LH plays an important role in the luteal phase of the menstrual cycle. The first phase of the menstrual cycle is the menstrual phase. In this image, the lower part indicates the changes in the endometrium of the uterus. The lines in the middle part indicates the changes in the level of various hormones, and the upper part indicates the changes in the follicles of the ovaries. The changes occur in the ovaries and uterus in the first 5 days of the cycle is called as menstrual phase. During this phase, there will be low secretion of estrogen and progesterone. This decline causes the shedding of lining of the endometrium along with the blood through the vagina. This is called as bleeding or menstruation. As bleeding occurs in this phase is called as menstrual phase. Bleeding occurs only if there is no fertilization. That means bleeding will not occur during pregnancy, and the absence of this phase may also due to stress, hormone imbalance, anemia, etc. Menstrual phase is followed by the follicular phase. The changes that occur in the ovaries and uterus from the 5th day to the 14th day is called as follicular phase. During this phase, the FHS from the anterior pituitary reaches the ovaries and stimulates the growth of the ovarian follicles. Even though many follicles are present in each ovary in various stages of development, only one follicle becomes a dominant or large Graafian follicle. When this follicle grows, the cells of the follicle secretes high amount of estrogen so that the estrogen level will be high in this phase. This high amount of estrogen causes the regeneration of the endometrial lining that was damaged during the last menstruation. That means the endometrium, which was thinner during the last menstrual phase, grows and becomes thicker and vascularized in this phase. Hence, this phase is also called as proliferative phase. Follicular phase is followed by ovulatory phase. The changes that occur in the 14th day of the menstrual cycle is called ovulatory phase. During this phase, the follicles secrete large amount of estrogen. When the estrogen level is enough, signals are sent to the hypothalamus of the brain to stimulate the anterior pituitary to release another hormone called LH to the ovaries, so that the LH level will be high in this phase. This high amount of LH is called as LH surge. This causes the rupture of the dominant follicle or Graafian follicle and the release of ovum into the peritoneal cavity. The release of ovum from the ovary is called ovulation. As ovulation occurs in this phase is called as ovulatory phase. Now, the ovum enters the fallopian tube and remains there for about 24 hours. If it meets the sperm during this time, fertilization takes place. Otherwise, the ovum will die. Ovulatory phase is followed by luteal phase. The changes that occur in the ovaries and uterus from the 15th day to 28th day is called as luteal phase. During this phase, the empty Graafian follicle moves towards the surface of the ovary and converts into an temporary endocrine gland called corpus luteum. This corpus luteum secretes large amount of progesterone and less amount of estrogen into the blood, so that the level of the progesterone will be high in this phase. As corpus luteum is formed in this phase is called as luteal phase. At the same time, the uterus also secretes nutritious fluid to nourish the fertilized egg and also secretes chemicals called prostaglandins that is involved in the contraction of the uterus during menstruation. Because of this phase is also called as secretory phase. If the egg is fertilized means the progesterone stops the thickening of the endometrium and prepares the endometrium for the implantation of the fertilized egg. If there is no fertilization, corpus luteum degenerates so that the secretion of the progesterone is reduced. Now, the corpus luteum is converted into a cord tissue called corpus albicans. This low level of progesterone and estrogen plus the action of the prostaglandin causes the shedding of the endometrium along with the blood through the vagina, and the cycle repeats in this way. Now we shall move to the next topic, menstrual disorders. These disorders occurs due to the problem in the menstrual cycle. They are amenorrhea, polymenorrhea, dysmenorrhea, menorrhagia, oligomenorrhea. Now let us see one by one in detail. If menstruation does not appear or absent, it is called as amenorrhea. It is of two types, primary amenorrhea and secondary amenorrhea. If menarche, that is first menstrual cycle, does not appear till the age of 18 in females, this condition is called as primary amenorrhea. In certain females, after puberty also, menstruation does not appear for more than 3 consecutive months. This condition is called as secondary amenorrhea. If menstrual cycle occurs many times or once in every 21 days, that disorder is called as polymenorrhea. It is caused mainly due to the hyperactivity of the adenohypophysis, that is, the excess secretion of hormones by the anterior pituitary lobe. It is also due to the inflammation of the uterus caused by sexually transmitted diseases like chlamydiasis or gonorrhea. The pain during menstruation is called dysmenorrhea. Based on the cause of pain, it is classified into two types, primary dysmenorrhea and secondary dysmenorrhea. If the pain is due to the secretion of prostaglandins in the uterus, it is called as primary dysmenorrhea. If the pain is due to disorders in the uterus like endometriosis, that is, inflammation of the endometrium, or uterine fibroids, that is, non-cancerous growth in the uterus, it is called as secondary dysmenorrhea. If the menstrual flow is heavy and extends for a long period, it is called as menorrhagia. It is mainly due to hormonal imbalance, dysfunctioning of the ovaries, uterine fibroids, cancer in the ovary or uterus or cervix. If the menstrual period is irregular and does not occur more than 35 days, it is called as oligomenorrhea. Now we shall move to the next topic, menstrual hygiene. We know what is hygiene. Hygiene means cleanliness. Maintaining cleanliness during menstruation is called menstrual hygiene. It is important for females for good health, well-being, fertilization, empowerment, etc. Improper cleanliness increases the stress level, fear, and embarrassment in females during menstruation. It also keeps the girls inactive and forces the girls to leave the school out of fear of public shaming and discomfort. Nowadays, various sanitary materials are available in the market for managing menstruation, such as absorbable clothing materials, sanitary napkins and pads, tampons, and menstrual cups. These sanitary materials should be changed every 4 to 5 hours to maintain cleanliness and to protect from infection. You should not throw the sanitary materials in open places. It should be wrapped before it is disposed. You already know what is menopause. It is the end of menstrual cycle, after which ovulation and menstruation does not take place. It occurs about 45 to 50 years of age. During menopause, the estrogen level will be very low. This causes various symptoms in females such as mood swings, hot flashes, weight gain, etc. In this class, we have seen what is menstrual cycle, the various phases of menstrual cycle, the various disorders of menstrual cycle, what is menstrual hygiene, and what is menopause. I hope you have understood this topic. Meet you in the next episode with a new topic.